Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing? I see people driving, jumping in. I know it has been a minute since we have been on Monday Morning Mindset. It's been so long, my co host is late. That's how long it's been. They are like struggling with getting back on task. Good morning, Rhonda, Dr. D, Demarius, Armina, all the way in Houston. Lakeisha, Diane, Janae, Sharon. Got people hopping in here. We're gonna get rolling here. Well, look who showed up.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the restroom.
Look who showed up. You know we live on YouTube. Oh, man. Hopefully you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving and you ate to your heart's content, and now you're probably regretting it. Because I was having a conversation yesterday as we're letting people get in, and we'll get started here right at 9:35. But I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and we were talking about how it is absolutely unfair that in 3 days you can eat to your heart's content and gain 10 pounds, but it takes you months to get it off. Like it should be equal. It should absolutely be. If I can gain in 3 days, I should be able to lose them in 3 days. Like it should not be the reverse. But hey, it is what it is. You just got to work your way through it. So I hope you all had a great, great, great holiday season. Again, I hope you ate to your heart's content. Hope you created memories with some family and friends. And we're going to get back into our Monday morning mindset. So again, we'll start right at 9:35 for those that are popping in. As I'm sure you were shocked this morning. Oh, yes, the text came through. We're finally getting back to Monday morning mindset. This is our last one in November. And so being the last one in November, this is our Q&A session. So any questions you have on anything, now we prefer it to be real estate related, but it doesn't have to be. Please make sure you put it in chat. So this is our Q&A edition of Monday Morning Mindset. So any question you have on anything, and again, we do prefer that it's real estate related, but it doesn't have to be. Put it in the chat so we can talk about it, so we can answer those questions. There's a lot of things happening in real estate.
There sure are.
Yeah, a whole lot
Good
of
morning,
things
everybody.
happening in
Hope you
real
had a
estate.
phenomenal holiday.
Yeah,
It is back at it right now for sure.
They are hopping back in. Look at that. I figured we might have lost our whole audience as long as we've been off. It seems like it's been 3 weeks.
Has it been that long?
I think it's been about 3 weeks.
Well, they've been busy real estate. So.
We've been busy.
Wow.
Busy. Today we're going to talk about a couple different things.
Okay.
As we give them time to think about questions that they're going to want to ask today. We're going to talk about growing your brand and increasing exposure.
Okay.
Right. As we're ending the last part of the year, we're going to get to the last month. And as you're ramping up for next year, thinking about next year. And so we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to get into the Q&A. And then I have a couple things I want to hit on before all those things, right? But we're 9:34, so right at 9:35, we're going to open this thing up officially. But thank you for joining.
Yes, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, we've been trying to book you for a while.
Right, it's been busy.
You finally were able to get you on the schedule.
Yes.
So we're excited about that.
You've been doing some traveling. You've been doing some coaching and development.
I've been doing a few things.
Yes.
I figured if they don't want to take advantage of it in the house, I'll just go ahead and just take it outside the house.
Why not? Everybody needs coaching and development.
There's other people that are willing to take advantage of it, and they pay for it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, they pay. So, I figured I'll just take it outside the house. Since my schedule seems to be open in the house. But it's all good.
It's all good. Yes,
everybody needs a little bit of information. All right, so it's 9:35. We're going to get started here with Monday Morning Mindset. As always, we like to open up in prayer. We like to say you do not have to be a Christian to be connected with us, but please do not be offended that we will not hide our faith. We like to recognize where our blessings come from, and we open up our Monday Morning Mindset in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for your grace and your goodness. Thank you for your continuation of the love that you show us. We thank you, Heavenly Father, that no matter what's going on in our lives, you are consistent.
Yes.
No matter what challenges come, you are consistent. No matter the way the wind blows, no matter the season, you are always consistent. And we are thankful for that, Heavenly Father. Continue to guide us, lead us, and show us the way that we need to go. Help us make the right decisions. Help us be a blessing to others as you have blessed us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Just want to remind everybody, please mute yourself. We don't want to have to mute you because we will find you and mute you. So please mute yourselves, and we'd appreciate that. What you
I was like, could you bring it down a little bit? I feel like there's a whole lot.
Oh my gosh, you show up late and now you want to run things. There you go.
You Look at that. That's so much better.
Look at that.
Thank you.
Boy.
See, Rhonda's clapping.
Rhonda's clapping because she's like, she missed this. She missed this craziness to be happening on this.
I want to say, Rhonda Forte, can I call you out for a second? I am unbelievably proud of you. Y'all give Rhonda such a huge round of applause. Yes, Lord, for her diligence, her servitude, and now she is officially official. And I cannot be, I just can't wait.
Officially what?
Well, hold on, can I finish?
I don't know. Where you going
She's officially official, able to teach and do CE training and development. So I am beyond excited. That's going to be some great opportunities to join in her classes. And I'm going to be one of the first ones to sign up. I cannot wait. I hope that you're getting with Cassie and getting some stuff on the schedule. That's what I hope.
You know, it is good. There's a lot of tools in this house. There's a lot of brilliant minds in this house. And Rhonda is absolutely an example of one that set her sights on what she wanted to do, put in the work to do it.
And now
and has achieved it all while still being an amazing realtor
and mentor
and great mentor. Her mentees
killing it.
So we had talked about the awards banquet is coming up. We may even mention that a little bit.
Okay.
The awards banquet is coming up next year, and there was a discussion about having like a mentor award. But I think Rhonda's team. That'd be unfair because Rhonda's people be like voting 16 times. So like it just would be out of control. Because they not only love Rhonda, but they produce.
They produce.
We have some great mentors, and Rhonda's definitely one of them. But we are absolutely proud of you. Yeah.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to showcase the gifts that are in this house.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. It's amazing stuff. All right.
Somebody like that too. Okay.
Now you like it. She's like, all right. Praise the Lord. All right. And there's somebody in the chat. Say congratulations on your ESPY.
Oh, thank you, Roberta. First of all, I don't know if you guys saw it on Workplace, but thank you guys who took a moment out of your busy schedules just to cast a vote for me. You know, this is one instance where your vote really truly counted, and just to be recognized is so humbling. But just the opportunity to continue to showcase TD Realty in a way that glorifies God. I'm going to do it whenever I can, and just to give you guys opportunity and exposure to get us into venues such as this. So now we know about real producers. Now we know about the ESPYs. Now we can start saying, okay, I'm trailblazing my way through. Let's bring everybody else up too. That's the purpose of why we do what we do.
Yeah. So at the banquet, there was a couple of things that stood out, and we'll take a moment for this. One, how much God was in that place.
What? It
the
was
agent
amazing.
After agent getting up and giving grace to God and thanks to God and recognizing God.
It was so cool.
It was extremely cool, even down to the guys who run the real producers in this area.
He's a Christian.
He's a Christian, and to hear sort of his testimony as well,
it was eye-opening.
And what God has done in his life. It was eye-opening. So that was one thing. The other thing, and to speak to what you just said, is we need more TD Realty agents up in there. Yeah,
I'm talking about that venue, D Magazine, panels, discussions. That's what it's all about. And ensuring that you guys are getting some opportunities. So I'm excited about 2024.
Yeah, it is going to be a great year for sure. So again, for those of you that are just logged on, this is going to be our Q&A session. So we're going to go over a couple things, but make sure that if you have a question about anything, you know how I get my hair cut looking so fly, look these ways. Any question about anything, I got to get mine in where I can get in. I just got to.
Well, let me help you. So no, Kenny, no, seriously, Kenny, Coach Kenny for all of you all, we keep saying it every week. Hey, I'm here for mentoring. He's here for coaching and developing. But honestly, out of 360 ages, I'm not sure where we are now. Very few take advantage of it. But other people outside have asked, for you to come in and coach. You did a whole workshop, a day of training management, a whole full day of coaching development, and they're going to be having you back.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you guys right now, you guys are getting stuff for free that other people are asking and asking him, ultimately
paying for.
Paying.
Flew me out.
And
first class, hotel accommodations, comedy show. So
I'm telling you guys, you
don't have to tell me.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
We just gonna get this outside corporate money.
But it's here for you.
But it is here for you
to take advantage. Particularly, I do have to say this about 2024. Right now, I have, like, this weekend, I was up early. I was looking at my numbers. I was planning and strategizing for 2024. Maybe 2023 didn't come in exactly where I wanted it to, but I thank God for where we did, because it didn't in volume, like the number of houses.
What is that number?
I wanted to sell 100 houses this year.
And you did?
I'm on pace to sell 85. So I have a 15% decrease. However, my GCI was not 15% off. It was less than that. My point is this: the year's not over till December the 31st. It's really not, of 2023. But it doesn't stop me from thanking God for the accomplishment in this crazy season that he was able to bless us with, but also the setup for next year. Because now I just have to reflect, the market has changed, the market has shifted. What kind of numbers should I have next year? I'm adjusting. And I think you guys need to take a serious analysis of your business, of your numbers, and have a realistic expectation until numbers start climbing back. Where should I be, and adjust accordingly? If I'm down 15%, I'm going to adjust a little bit. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of always be on top of your business and knowing what you've accomplished. Praise God for that, but then re-strategize on how you're going to do for next year. It's very important as you're planning.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's segment into that, actually, and then we'll do what, as far as training, we'll put that on the back end, Cassie. Okay. So let's segment into that a little bit, because it leads into a thing that I wanted to talk about before we get into growing your brand, increasing exposure, and again, Q&A Monday Morning Mindset. So any questions you have, drop them in the chat. We will get to them today, right before we end all of this up. But it was about fear. It was about fear. Because it's easy to be afraid. It is easy to be afraid and fall into the what ifs, right? And what I call the what ifs, that's what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? What if the market continues to do what it's doing? What if the interest rates don't come down? What if I can't get a client? What if these, like, it's easy to get focused on the what ifs. But the other side of the what ifs is the other what if. What if it does? What if the rates do come down? What if you can make it in this business? It's really deciding on what you focus on, but fear is real.
It really is.
Right. And so I want to give your thoughts on a couple of things, and I won't go through all of them, but I wrote down a few things. And the first one, when it comes to kind of shifting your mind from a fear mindset, right? And maybe you don't like the word fear, call it apprehension then, right? Call it walking softly, dipping your toe in, call it whatever you want to call it, but it's the same challenges that come when it creeps into your mind. But one way to overcome it is reframing fear as opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
What I tend to do, especially in situations like we've had this year with COVID, with situations with this year, I look at not what I don't have, or i.e. the high interest rates. I look at where the opportunity lies. So, for example, many people are still wanting to buy, but they just can't afford the $450,000, $500,000 house.
Right.
Maybe they can come in at 200, 250, 300.
Right.
Correct. And everyone's concerned about the interest rates. And so I educate myself about what other opportunities are out here, i.e. new build opportunities, buying down interest rate. What does it cost to buy down an interest rate? So when I am negotiating a contract and asking for seller concession, how much is really appropriate?
Right.
Days on market, how to seize the opportunity when days have been extended, and how to leverage that in an offer. There's just opportunity out here. It's just how you look at it.
Facts.
So even with dealing with sellers, my whole dialogue with them has shifted because they're used to putting their house on the market to get multiple offers, and then they have to choose and pick which one they want. That hasn't happened this year. It has been, I've had more cancellations. I've signed more cancellations and done more cancellations than I can even ever think of in the past. And it's a little disheartening that you've put your marketing efforts in, you've spent this money, but guess what? If you hadn't stepped out and tried, you never would have maybe gotten a potential lead on a buyer. You wouldn't have gotten more expertise in understanding how to overcome objections. So there are things that in every challenge, there's opportunity to grow. If you never had a challenge, I can say out of the thousands of transactions I've done, the greatest growth has come from when I had a conflict or when I had an obstacle to overcome. That's expanded me, that my business acumen grew. I learned something different and unique that I always use now in the future. So I hope that you guys are not taking the challenges that we're dealing with in a negative light. Look at it as opportunity, and how did I overcome? And now you have to talk to people differently. You have to educate them on interest rate. You have to dive into, I would talk about the Providence One app. This is my best friend. I'm telling you right now, when it comes to talking to people on a day-to-day basis, it is with me as I am LP momming them, understanding their, I can only pay $1,800. Well, you can only buy a $150,000 house, what does that mean? So knowing that, being able to articulate that, even putting people on a strategy on, hey, we're not ready to buy now.
Right.
But maybe next year when rates kind of recalibrate, which they are expected to do, here's what you need to save. Here's what you need to do. And guess what? That's pipeline. Never throw out people who you can't buy with now or who need to lease. My goodness, if you have not done any leases, you're missing an opportunity in the next year or two to have an influx of buyers.
And you work leases differently, right? Which is a whole nother training, but you do work leases differently. And we'll get into those things. So those are good points that you raised. The next thing is setting clear and achievable goals. A lot of times, fear will often stems from feeling overwhelmed. Like you feel like you're not hitting certain benchmarks, but it's oftentimes because the benchmarks you set are unrealistic, right? So you mentioned this earlier, resetting and recalibrating.
I had to.
The change in the goal for next year.
Yeah, because how crazy would it be for me to set up a goal of 120 houses next year when I didn't even sell 100 or 80 or 90 this year? It'd be unrealistic. And looking at the market and looking at the trends, if I'm selling, for anybody, if you're selling 1 a month, 2 a month, I mean, that's probably, if you can break even next year, you're probably doing well in this market. In the way that we're just trending, and with the new things, with the NAR lawsuit, all of this coming, you just got to stay consistent. You cannot let up off the gas. You can't stop making the calls. You can't stop visiting the communities. You can't stop making the videos. You can't stop putting yourself out there as an expert in real estate if you want people to seek you out when they have real estate needs.
Yeah,
I did not slack in my client care. I did every event and every pop by or whatever we do. I still am doing that. Why? Because they are the people that know me, and they are the people that now represent over 50% of my business with referral and repeat. But that it grew in 9.5 years.
Right.
Okay. Right. But it's the consistency of everything that you're doing that helps to the longevity of your business and your career.
Yeah.
So it's, I need you guys to think, I think big picture. Don't think be siloed into this year wasn't what I wanted it to be. Think about, hey, if I'm in this for the next 3, 5, 10 years, and these are the trends, when I make money, I need to set aside certain funds for marketing, certain funds for taxes, certain funds for living, be realistic about what you're doing with your funds so that you can pour back into your business.
Yeah. So the challenge with goal setting is first of all, we often do it wrong.
Well, a lot of people haven't achieved anything to have goals quite yet.
Yeah,
also.
well, I don't think you meant it like that.
Well,
right?
what I'm saying is, if I'm a new agent and I haven't sold 20 houses, I mean, I'm not sure what my goal should be.
Right, right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And so that's why you need to sit down and have either conversation with your mentor or get on my calendar and we can talk about realistic goal setting. Because one thing that I do is I take you through the numbers, right?
Yeah.
We don't just pick numbers out of the sky. That is not how you set goals. You don't pick a goal out of, oh, I wish, I hope. That is not how you set goals. And contrary to how this industry works, it is amazing because that's not how we do it in corporate America. We don't pick goals based on I want to make $100,000. Like that is not how you set a goal.
Which suits everybody's goal,
but everybody wants to hit that number. But setting clear and achievable goals becomes very important because it will reduce the frustration that you have in front of you when you're chasing something that is just unrealistic. Doesn't mean that it can never be obtained. It's just maybe not in this moment. So I'll skip the next thing I wrote down because you actually already hit on it, and that was embracing failure as a learning tool, because you stated that every time you've made a mistake, a misstep, or whatever, it has helped you grow and expand and become better. So I'll skip that. But the next thing I did write is staying informed and prepared. Your information does not come from ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox. That should not be where you're getting your data from.
It shouldn't be the sole place.
Yeah, it should not be, because you have the data in front of you. You have actual local market intel in front of you. And while you can see things from a national level because you want to stay educated, being educated on the local level is where you need to plant your flag.
There's no doubt. And looking at the trends, we have access to all of that at our fingertips. Log into the MLS. You can look at trends. You can look at trends in a neighborhood. You can look at trends in a market. DFW, you can Arlington, Mansfield, McKinney. You can drill down to a subdivision if you really wanted to. Understanding that, and if you say, "Hey, I want to farm an area. I want to be relevant in this area," look at it. How is it trending? Is it up? Is it down? And then forecast your numbers based upon that, if that's what your market is. I tend to look at past data as a good indicator of what I'm going to be doing, as well as coupling it with what the trends are in the market. It's very unrealistic for me to say that, hey, I'm going to sell 100 houses, but I don't take into account what's happening in the new build community.
Right.
You know, like, how can you have to know, well, how can I sell that many houses? I got to know every facet, every avenue. And then guess what? Get out there, network. I want people to call me, contact me when they have a deal or a special going on. Get on some distribution lists so that you can be in constant contact with what's going on in the market and what kind of deals are going on. I get random texts from different sales agents all the time about, hey, we got this deal, 4.99%. I'm like, ooh, let me check my database. You know, who have I been talking to that fits in this under 300,000 that would benefit from a 5.99% interest rate, plus blinds, refrigerator, washer, and dryer. Oh, it's a little bit of a distance. Okay, let me talk to them about a radius from their job. Oh, wait a minute, they're remote? It's because I'm asking the questions, talking to them about it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And the other thing about that is, you can use that as marketing. So let's just say you don't have a database. Let's say right now you're new and you don't have a database of people.
Yeah.
That is some good marketing.
It
right?
is.
You have a builder offering 4.95 or whatever it is with certain incentives. That is something that should hit your social media. That's something you can put on TikTok.
I'm just saying, a lot of agents that come in and mentor it with me, and I tell them, hey, this is what you should do. I am so happy. You know who you are. You are out here in these new build communities. You're making the videos. You're partnering with other realtors. You guys are doing things together. You are making a name for yourselves out here. I'm telling you, these are the seeds that you will continue to sow as you continue to water. They're going to flourish with people seeking you out, asking your advice. Hey, I saw your video. I'm interested now, or my aunt, my friend, my neighbor, whoever they're the ones that are going to reach out to you because they see you on your TikToking, your IGN, your Facebooking, or whatever. They keep seeing you out there repeatedly in that vein, and you are relatable.
Facts.
They feel like they know you.
Which brings up the next key point, building a strong support network, right? Making sure that you have mentors, you have advisors, you have support in the community, you're using coaching.
Accountability partners.
Yep. Local business groups, online forums, you're getting information, you're getting data, but you're not being out here, though you are a solo agent, you're not just working solo, you're not flying solo.
This is not a lot of people think real estate is autonomous.
Right.
It really isn't. You have to consistently have a network of people, peers, people, vendors, other inspectors, all the things that are auxiliary to us. You need to make sure you are always working to form your community, your village, so that you can go to them for referrals or business.
Or just support, right? Just support and encouragement. So these are just a few things that you can do as it relates to overcoming fear, because the reality is you're never fully not afraid, right? You're never fully not afraid. And fear is not a negative word. Like, no, people are like, oh, I don't want to hear the word. No, it's not bad. No, it's not a bad word.
I remember when we were starting the brokerage, would you say we had some fear?
Yeah, we have fear. We still have fear
every day, y'all.
Yeah, the fear doesn't go all the way. Yeah. You have this, this cute phrase, but it's real, do it afraid, right? You may have fear, but do it afraid. Do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
The fear isn't going to go away because as a business owner, you don't know when the next true opportunity will come, right? At any moment, everybody on this call could choose not to have jumped on this call.
Correct.
Right. Everybody in the brokerage could choose not to be in the brokerage. Right. Everybody you have business with in the past could choose to not do business with you anymore. All these things are realistic things that could happen.
Right.
And if you're focusing in on all the possible negative things that could happen, what you start doing is you start exhibiting the behaviors that ultimately lead to the negative things. Right. You start responding in that way. They say what you focus on grows. Right. Okay. So if all you focus in is on all the shortcomings, the challenges, the frustrations, the things you don't have or perceive that you don't have, then what you're going to do is manifest those things.
Correct.
Because you're going to start driving the behavior. Correct. Right. But activity drives goals. Goals don't drive activity, right? And so when you're measuring your success or how you're doing, you don't measure that against the goal, you measure it against the activity, right? And if you're doing the right activities, it's going to yield an outcome. And in doing the right activities yields the right outcome. Ultimately, you hit the goal or you come somewhere close to it. You can't control the exterior things.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. But you can control your activity. You have 100% control of what you do today.
Correct.
You chose to be on Monday Morning Mindset. When this is over, you will choose to be on negotiating script practice or not. You choose what you're going to do. You choose the activity. Choose the right activities day in, day out. Get the results you want. Choose the wrong activities. Get the results you don't want. It's really as simple and as complicated as that.
I agree. It just reminds me of a conversation I was having with one of my assistants, because I analyze everything. So I looked at, where we are, where we're trending, what's coming up. And I talked about what had been canceled. And because you're talking about focus on the negative. So if you look at the transactions that I had under contract and were canceled this year, it was over $5 million of transactions that went under contract. But I'd always also analyze out of those 27 transactions, which would have been my 100 anyway.
Right.
Out of those, how many did I capture back? I captured 7 back. So 20 were actual fallouts. I could have sat there with my assistant and focused on what was lost or I could have gone back to what was gained and what we had closed in spite of what had not closed.
Mhm.
So you can do one or two things in a situation. You can look at it a half empty or half full. I'm always going to look at the full aspect because I give God the glory in everything that I'm doing. And because of his favor and his mercy, even with those 27 deals that had fallen out, the 85 that will prayerfully close. Hello, that's a win. So you could, my point is this, and even bring that up. You can either focus on what you don't have or what you do have. And when you focus on what you do have, you can do more, because that's what happened. I'm not going to let those that fell out distract me, or I'm getting burdened by, oh my God, I just lost that $1 million deal. Like that. Why would I do that when there's so many more people that are here to help to get into a position to buy? If I need to focus on, that's what you need to focus on. So where you focus makes a difference.
So this is a good segue, and thank you all that are putting questions in the chat. Ooh. And continue to put some questions in the chat. Oh, but right where you are, we're going to answer this one right quick. Marion has asked, what is your take on pivoting in this industry, but still staying in front of people until the market shifts for the better? ? I'm asking from a standpoint of those agents whose bills can't wait. They're having the conversations with prospects, but affordability is a real issue.
So a lot, when I talk to different agents, I'm asking them questions like, okay, so what are you doing in the interim while you're waiting on that next buyer? Okay. Many people, they have a blank stare at me. I said, well, this is what I would be doing. I would be raising my hand for every opportunity that presented itself. I'm dealing with lease clients. I'm at every open house I can get my hands on. I am farming the community at those open houses. I am networking with other agents to see if there's ever an opportunity that they may need me. You have to jump into every aspect of real estate, not just the buying and the selling aspect. There are communities out here, new build communities, that will allow you to do an open house at one of their new builds. Hello, are you doing that? That's a way to get in advertising, get on social media, driving people. Like, you got to immerse yourself into this. You can't be sitting on the sidelines, coach, I want to go in, but you haven't looked at the playbook. You have to look at the playbook. The playbook is this: I need to get every opportunity that is available to me. And that is what I just shared with you. People who are not signed up on apartmentdata.com, do you even know what that is? That is where, when people call you and say, well, I just got another call from somebody that can only do maybe $1,100, $1,200. They want to rent. They'll probably end up in an apartment, but apartments typically pay anywhere from 50% to 150% of whatever that rental amount is. Well, guess what? You do 2 or 3 of those a month, you're probably anywhere from $2,400 to $5,000 in rentals. And then guess what? You're going to ask those people who you've had a great experience with to write a review for you. When you get them to write a review, you ask them to put it on Google, you ask them to put it on Zillow. And if they'd only do one, do Google, because Google will help you organically grow your business, I think, a lot faster than perhaps Zillow. I do both, but I'm just saying, in the past 2 years, we put a real focus on Google. And now I'm getting more calls from people who are organically looking for a real estate agent in this area, and I pop up. Everything you do has an impact. So if you're doing nothing, you're not going to have an impact. I don't know. Did I say that okay? Because I don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so my turn. My turn. Okay, so there's and you absolutely, everything you said was correct. There's a couple things in here in this part, and I want to say the thing that stood out for me in this question was, she says, what is your take on pivoting in this industry but still staying in front of people until the market shifts for the better? Okay, first, this mindset has to change.
About for the better?
For the better. This is not a bad market. This is not a bad market.
It's actually a good market.
And so anytime you can get any kind of house, right, it's a great opportunity. Now, can you get a 5,000 square foot house for $350,000? That's gone. No, you can't.
For a
Or can you get
3% interest
for
rate.
a 3% interest rate?
Yeah.
Right. That's gone. But you can still get a house, right? We just have to adjust the mindset, but it starts with our own mindset of how we're viewing it. But
Mhm.
I'll give you the secret. The 60 something people that are still on here and the others who have dropped off because either I was too boring or they had other things to do. Either way, I'll give you the secret right now.
What's the secret sauce?
The secret to having continuation of opportunity is to consistently be looking for it, right? And so what you do is the same thing that you did. What we do is you never stop marketing, advertising. You never stop getting up every day and going and finding opportunities, because the more opportunities you uncover, the more chances you will uncover, the more deals you will close. When you only have a finite number of opportunities, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people you're working with, and those 4 or 5 people can't get deals done, then yeah, the bills keep coming, right? People still need their money. They still need to get paid. Electric still needs to be paid. Gas, car, all these bills keep coming. You can't control when someone's able to buy. You can't control how much someone's able to buy. You can't control how much money they save. No, you cannot. But you can control the number of people you meet today.
Correct.
You can control the number of people you add to your database. You can control the number of people you follow up with. And if you meet enough people and add them to your database and follow up with them, what you're going to find is more opportunity.
Correct.
Right. And when you find more opportunity, guess what's going to happen? You're going to close more deals. And when you close more deals because you've got more opportunities, then 1, 2 falling out, or 20 something over the course of the year, but you got 80 something that close, you can still be okay. But what we do, and this is what most salespeople do, and I love this little graph. Somebody just did thumbs up.
Wow, that was
technology.
Cool.
They might have updated Zoom,
who
right?
Who is that?
what we tend to do is we stop searching for opportunities. So in corporate, what we would do every year, we'd have goals, right?
We had to.
We'd have goals. And so as a manager, we'd sit down, the corporate would give us the goal, and we sit down with the team and we give the goal to the team, right?
Yeah.
And it was never lower. Isn't that amazing?
No.
The goal was never lower.
Higher.
You worked all year to hit these high goals that you already thought was high, but you didn't say it to your team. Right. And you figured out a plan, you strategized, you went and did it. And then next year, like, congratulations, you did really good. Awesome. Here's another higher goal on top of that. Right. And then you strategize on how to do it. And it's always about finding opportunity, increased exposure, find more opportunity. We don't have to make this difficult because it's not. But yes, your money needs to still be paid.
It does. And like I just said, I mean, what he's saying is just, I find a lot of people are not following up. When I have conversations with agents about, hey, how are you doing in Chime? What's going on? They give me a blank stare because they have not moved people through the pipeline. They haven't followed up. They haven't created tasks to follow up. They haven't put them on a smart plan. They haven't set up the engagements or the alerts. These are the little bitty things that add up.
They matter.
They matter. Yeah. When people want to find an agent, if you are consistently in contact with them, they're going to know it's you. If not, they're just going to, whoever, they push a Zillow button and the next agent that pops up, even though you talked to them that one time 10 months ago, they're not going to call you just because maybe you have them on alerts every week. That you need a real, hey, how are you? It's me. I'm thinking about you. The market is still doing well. Are you considering what are you going to do for 2023? Like, this is the month you all should really be cleaning up your database, putting people in their correct pipeline, setting up tasks for touching back base, checking with their credit. How's your savings plan? All of these things should be happening right now in preparation for 2024. And if you've never done it, guess what? Now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
And if you need some guidance on that, call.
So I hope that answers Marion's question, but just to wrap it up really quickly, it is, you can't control all those exterior things. What you can control is your behavior and your activity. And I promise you, if you do the same consistent productive activity every day that meets people to uncover opportunity to close deals, you will find that yes, deals will fall out. Yes, people will have to cancel or do whatever because of the rates or because of money or because of whatever it is. However, you've given yourself multiple revenue to work with multiple people to get other deals closed.
Correct. And stay in front of people, i.e. videos, i.e. social media. Don't let up on that, because what do you call people? The silent lookers or something?
Yeah, your silent followers.
So, yeah, they don't like anything. They are just scrollers, but they see your content. And when it's time, they will reach out. But
Yeah.
you've got to have something for them to remember you by. So, be consistently doing the things that will ultimately drive people to you.
Yeah. I had a friend giving me a hard time. We didn't even talk about this. I had a friend, she said lurkers. I have a friend giving me a hard time. He's like, man, you got all these followers, you get very little comments and stuff like that. Blah, 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 blah. And then I pull up my TikTok and I showed him on the back end. I'm like, yeah, but you see these 6,000 people here that like this video, and you see all these new followers that I picked up from that. There's a lot of people that will follow you silently, or lurkers, right? There are probably a lot of people that will follow you that will never make a comment and never have a thing to say, but it doesn't mean they're not consuming your material. And you have to also understand how the algorithms have shifted and changed, but that's a whole nother conversation. So longevity is not in the right now. Just be mindful of that. Longevity is not in the right now. And we spend so much time focusing on the right now business because we want the right now business, right? But the mega agents and people who've been doing this for a long time,
right now. Yeah.
They don't just focus on the right now business, because that's the small segment of people. Your database will be huge. You're only going to get a few that are right now. It's the longevity. Longevity. It's staying in front of them, like you just said, and making sure your smart plans are running and doing your follow-up.
It's essential.
That's going to help you get through the leaner time.
I see, like Rose said, hey, China's my best friend. It is your best friend, is your assistant. It's the gift that keeps giving. It's your pal, it's your accountability partner, however you want to term it. But if you're not doing anything to cultivate that relationship, right, then you're not going to get the benefit of it.
So someone put in here, how do you market yourself besides social media so you can get exposure?
Besides social media?
Besides social media, how do you market yourself besides social media? I'll tell you some of the things that we do.
Go ahead.
Everything is marketing opportunity, right? Everything is marketing opportunity. And it's not necessarily besides social media. It is in conjunction with, but this is going to depend on where you are with your business. So
please listen to this.
Yeah, this would depend on where you are with your business.
I'm about to hit, I'm so excited, year 10 next year. So in year 1 and 2, I was not doing what I do in year 10. Let's please be clear on this. It was a progression to move my way up and do the things that I'm now doing. So please do not try to compare what somebody that's been in business for a lot longer.
Yeah, but I'm finna give it all to him.
Okay, so let me hear it. I'm gonna interject.
Yeah, I'm finna give it all to him. So one of the things you want to do, and it's amazing because the next segment of what we're going to talk about, if y'all didn't have a whole bunch of questions, was growing your brand and increasing exposure. So this is a great question. And one of the keys was networking and community involvement, right? So yes, you're going to be social media. Understand that social media is the vacuum to get the messaging out, right? So social media is the vacuum to get the messaging out, but that is not the only way to create the message. This is how you deliver it out. So working in networking and community involvement is very important. Getting out there and meeting people, businesses, other professionals, individuals that you may want to get referrals from, individuals you can send referrals to, right? Getting your name and your brand out there in other people's mouths and in other people's view site becomes very important. So whether it's partnering with your HOA, whether it is going out and meeting other small business owners and doing some sort of exposure for them, right? Whether it is going out and doing a webinar or a seminar, something like that, to get more people involved. I want you to come from a position of giving. not
Absolutely.
receiving,
Mhm.
right? So think about how you can be a blessing to others. Think about how you can help others achieve their goals. And in you helping others achieve their goals, it does a couple of different things for you. One, it should make you feel really good about yourself. You should feel real good in your heart. Your heart should be very, very warm, right? That should work, right?
Mhm.
But also, it helps your brand get exposure because once people know that you care, they care about what you know and they care about what you're doing, right? And thirdly, it continues to expose you to their people, right? So you're helping someone else achieve a thing,
Mhm.
and in helping them achieve a thing, the reciprocity, unless they're psychos, right? They start thinking about you and how they can help you, but then you also are getting exposure to who they know. So the more you're out there and engaging in the community. Oh, got another little bubble thumbs up. I don't know who's doing it, but I love it. Right. Yeah. The more you're out there, I don't know if you guys can see that or y'all just think we're crazy. But anyway, the more
They know you're
the
crazy.
more that you're out there doing those things
Yeah.
within the networking and the community and the webinars and doing things with local businesses,
Yeah.
the more it's going to help and expand you.
Correct.
But you come from a position of giving,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can actually receive.
I agree.
Right? So check it out. Let's put it in a simplistic form. And this works, doesn't matter how long you've been in business. Anybody can do these things, right?
Okay.
So let's just say your goal is to work with divorce attorneys. Let's just say that's what it is, right?
Okay.
I mean, and I know it's an ugly thing, but let's just say that is what it is. And you go out and you find 40 divorce attorneys in the Metroplex, right? And you're calling and you want to set a meeting with them because you want to talk about opportunities to cross business. And maybe 20 of them respond. Okay, great. 20 responded. So you got 20 that responded, you met with them and you talked about this idea of, hey, you know, I expect to have clients. Sometimes they're going to do divorce. I like to refer them to you, blah, 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 blah. Here's the things that I do. And you guys create a program, right? You call it whatever, you know, we help you, whatever program. And their clients get a percentage off or something. Okay. So you got 20. All 20 will not give you business this year.
Correct.
Right. But you have a plan in place for every one of them every month, what you're going to do, whether it's lunch or whether it's sending them a newsletter or whatever content you're going to send them to stay in front of them. Because what you can't do is talk to them, meet them one time, and then wait for them to send you something. It's not going to happen. They're not thinking about you. You are not top of mind. So you have to stay connected with them. Yeah. Right. But 20 don't send you anybody.
Correct.
But 4 do.
Okay.
Okay. So 4 of the 20 send you somebody in a given year, right? And they send you somebody that's a $300,000 opportunity. Okay. And you're going to get 3% maybe of that 300,000. So that's 9. And 9 times 4 is 36,000. Okay. So you made 36,000 from these group of attorneys this year. And you're like, ooh, that's great. Right. And so you're going to do the same thing next year. Okay. Right. So you're going to add 20 more. But you got the 20 you're working with. 4 sent you somebody. So year 2, okay, let's just say you get 4 from the people who sent you something the first time. You get another 4 from the other 20. Okay. So now you got 8. And then the first 20, the 16 that didn't send you somebody, 3 of them finally sent you somebody. All right. So now you got 11 deals. And you still got 300K at 3%. Right. So that's still 9. 11 is now 99,000. Okay. So just by doing this strategy, and this is just one way to doing it, and the longevity of it, because you didn't vacate it, right? You didn't vacate it because year 1 you only got 4. You're like, this don't work, throw it out the window. No, you had success. You got 4. So let's keep going and expand it. And then year 2 it grows, and then year 3 it grows, and then year 4 it grows, and year 3 400,000 in by one simple strategy. Yeah. But guess what? Let's do that with some lawyers. I mean, doctors, right? Let's do that with some other people. Let's find other opportunities to network, connect with.
I like that
and
idea.
Do things with. It does not take, because we can't do everything, lady. She wants all the business, right? You got to leave something for the people. You cannot you cannot just take year one
Yeah.
and because you had an unrealistic goal that all 20 people is going to bring you somebody. So because you got 4, you're disappointed and you just threw the whole idea out. You grow and you expand and you compound and you work on the overall strategy. It doesn't take a whole lot. You can do the same thing with Facebook leads. Anyway, we'll move on from that.
I want to touch on that because I think one thing that I would encourage any new agent to do, that's more of an organic, wouldn't you say that's kind of organic and networking? I didn't do that very well. I wish we had done, that's why I hear these, I'm like, oh my gosh, we should do that. Because it's such I spent money to make money. There's all kinds of ways to win in real estate. So when I say that, I did a lot of online, I still do online lead gen. And if I were new now, I would definitely do strategies like he's suggesting because it's organic and it just takes more time than money. Okay. And so for anybody who's trying to figure out like, how do I make this work? Do that at a level that works for you. Maybe it's whatever your profession was before you got here, wherever you work. Maybe it's teachers. Maybe it's cashiers at Walmart. Maybe it's, the PTA or my son or daughter's game, the parents at the game. However, whatever that networking opportunity is, you can use the same elements of what he just said to grow your business. And I call it organic because you didn't have to spend, a ton of money to get that done. And all it took was your time and your conversation with whomever you were talking to.
Yeah, here's where people mess up. So they have an idea. Right. And they're like, I'm going to do X. I'm going to even down to, I'm going to do mailers. Okay, I'm going to do mailers, right?
Yeah.
So they have an idea. And then they think about the idea on one level. They don't think about the idea 4 or 5 levels down, right? Because there's a certain thing called brand recognition. So just because you think you sent out a mailer, and everybody on here has gotten this at their house, right? They've gotten a mailer from some agent that says, hey, I'm your local agent. And it came in the mail. And it maybe even has some data on your area, your neighborhood, whatever. And then you didn't see them again, right? Or you have this agent. They mailed it. And then 2 months later, they got something else. And 2 months later, you got something else. And in between that time, you never see them again. There is no brand recognition happening. They're not registering. The only reason you see it is because you're a real estate agent. So you're looking at the marketing material. Everybody else is throwing it in the trash. It's going in the trash, just like the same stuff you do with all the other people that you're not an agent to, right? So brand recognition becomes real. Whatever strategy you're going to use, you have to have multiple follow-up pieces consistently. There's too much time gap happening with the way you're doing strategy. Also, the way you're doing social media. You think social media is, I have this post that's static, right? Static just means it's either a little cute little video or it's a little Canva made post and you put it out there. That worked 5 years ago. That does not work today. That cannot be your posting strategy. It can't be your posting strategy. Right? Okay, your only posting strategy. Like it needs to be 2%. Because what is working today is video of you. People want engagement. They want to interact with you, even if it's just video and it's not live interaction. That's what they want. And that's what you need to give them. So don't think that, oh my gosh, I'm doing. Now, this depends on what your plan is. If your plan is just to have content for some viewership, then go ahead and do that. But if you're trying to actually get business, if you're trying to actually get brand recognition, then you got to give them you. And the majority of your stuff needs to be you. It doesn't need to be something you created on Canva. It doesn't need to be a nice little static thing that is doing nothing, because they're going to look over it. There's nothing captivating about that. And you need to capture their attention. And why? Because Google TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, they're not paying for followers anymore. They're not paying for you to have even a bunch of comments anymore. They're paying for view time. How long are people watching your stuff? And that's why you're seeing even more and more people that are trying to put their giveaways, right, at the end. Stay till the end and get X. Stay till the end and see Y. That's why a lot of the video content now is they'll give you a conversation up front, but what you came to see, sometimes they put it at the back because they need you to watch and stay longer. So stop fighting the algorithm, because if you give it what it wants, then these companies become your partner. And Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, they start referring your content. They start promoting your content. They start putting you in front of their audiences because you're working with them. And you're creating content that's giving them what they're looking for, which is more eyes constantly on their channel. But if your stuff is boring meaning old, outdated strategy, and the algorithm is skipping over your stuff, you're not getting promotion. So then you're left to have to promote yourself, which you can do through ads, to try to get your content out. But you don't now have that true organic partner that is saying, hey, and this is how you're getting recommendations. So when you're watching something and all of a sudden the company is now saying, hey, here's a recommended video for you, they're only recommending videos that other people are watching long time. I know that was a long way to get to that, but I just had to get to that social media piece and make sure that we're doing social media effectively, right? Yeah. Depending on what your goal is. Now, I said that all in a vacuum, but everybody's goal is different. So depending on what your goal is how you create your strategy.
Did we get all the questions?
We did get all the questions. Let's see. Somebody just gave some things that they do, but we got all the questions actually. Yeah, I appreciate the tip. There you go. Networking events. So here's the short of it. And then we'll ask Cassie to tell us what we have been training this week. Here's the long and short of it.
So you did that. You waited to the last to add the training.
Yeah. Okay. Stay to the end. Here's the long and short of it. Consistent things done every day. Productive things that drive business and revenue. Somebody's just making me so happy right now with their thumbs up.
Can y'all see that?
Yeah, Rhonda says,
can you see it?
Okay. Consistent. I am so easy to be entertained. Consistent, like a little puppy. Whoa, what was that? Consistent, productive, lead generating activity every day.
Every day.
With a follow-up and follow-through plan that you actually do every day.
Yes.
Will yield you the results you're looking for. You cannot do them based upon how you feel. Okay? You cannot do them based on how you feel.
Correct.
They are boring.
Boring.
For sure. They're not the exciting thing of opening the door and going through the house. And oh my gosh, we wrote the contract. That's all great and wonderful. But you have to do these things every day. And you cannot forsake, as much as you may not want to do social media, you cannot forsake social media because it is a vehicle that gets you in front of a massive number of people, and your content lives on forever. So here's what happens. Your first 6 months, you content, and nobody looks like they're watching.
Right.
But you just keep doing it. And then all of a sudden, one hits. For some reason, one hits. And one hits, and then people go back and they start watching all your old content. And now all of a sudden, the 1, 2, 3 views is 6 views, 7 views, 8 views, 10 views, 50 views, 100 views. And then the more people now are watching it, you keep putting it out, and then something else hits.
Yeah.
So when you go back and you look at someone who you deem to have been successful, if you go back right before they hit, you're going to see all the ones, twos, threes, four, fives, and then all of a sudden it jumps and they got 200, 300, 600, 800, 2,000 views.
Mm.
Stop worrying about the number of people watching when you start. Do the content, produce the content, keep putting it out. If you keep putting it out, I promise you, and if you do some coaching, we can take a look at it. I promise you, you will eventually get the results.
That's good.
But we want everything now because we're such a microwave society.
We are, but with real estate, it's about the long-term play. It's about building your brand. It's about longevity. And that's why, we started this brokerage to give agents an opportunity to brand themselves, because we want you guys to be in this business long-term. And so that's how you have to do it. I was telling somebody, hey, when you start, don't use TD Realty, an email address that has us in it.
Right.
Use your name. Get your own domain. We did that day one.
Facts.
We did that day one because we were not tied. The success was not going to be tied to a broker.
Right.
It was going to be tied to the activity and what I put into it, and ultimately what we put into it when he was brought on. That's what made the difference. So I'm going to encourage you guys today that what you're today is not going to be what it is at the end of 2024. But with the tips that we've given today, if you implement them immediately, you will have success, a great deal of success, I believe, in 2024.
Facts. And we got some co-signers. So I love it because Luanda said that is true. I'm there, so she's doing it. And then Marion says, I got more views watching my recipe for Papados Mardi Gras and gain a lot of followers, but most of my content is real estate. My point is, don't be afraid to share yourself outside of real estate with the people.
And I loved your dancing video with your babies. Stuff like that. People are like, oh my God, they're going to watch. And now let me follow her. She's so cute. That's exactly what happens.
Yep.
Giving them a little bit more of you will help you to be more relatable. Everybody wants to work with someone they like and they can relate to. Oh my gosh, she's got twins. She's out there clowning with her boys. That kind of stuff is going to get you business ultimately. Facts. So take a tip from Marion and follow her.
And
it's
follow
really good
her.
content.
There you go. Follow Marion. Learn how to do Papados Mardi Gras. All right. I don't know why I just slang that.
I don't either. That was terrible.
Cassie still with us. Can we get to some training this week? Because
I know we got a lot of it.
You did not just say that was terrible.
Cassie asked me to do the training today, Kenny. So I'll go ahead and pull it up real quick.
Let's go, Libby. What we got?
So this week for training today, is Monday. So we always have our script practice virtually. And that is today at 11 o'clock, virtual only. That's going to be with Lincoln Fisher. He does an excellent job, so definitely tune into that. Tomorrow, Tuesday, the 28th, I am not seeing anything on the training calendar. Wednesday, the 29th at 11 a.m., we are going to have a Realtor Toolkit workshop with CE credit available, and there's also going to be a lunch. So this one is going to be in the office only. It's in person only, guys. So you have to physically come up here, eat your lunch, all of that, but you do need to register. So there is a link that you will register for. It can be found in the training calendar. So make sure you do that. And then Thursday, the 30th, we have Providence Agent One app overview with Providence title. So Carlos Woltman will be teaching that. That is a lifesaver, a game changer. I know Tanika uses it all the time. So definitely make sure that if you are not up on how to work all that, you definitely join that class. And it is going to be in the office and virtual. So there is a link that you can click on in the training calendar. And then on Friday, that'll bring us all the way to December the 1st. We actually do not have a training on Friday at all, but that is all for this week. A lot of good stuff.
Yay. Thank you. That's some good stuff. And I did tease, and we're going to get out of here. I did tease the banquet.
Oh,
the banquet. I teased the banquet. So this year's banquet It's going to be March. I don't have the date in my calendar yet, so we'll get back out to you. But we're going to be in Grand Prairie at the brand new convention center,
Woo!
right over there by Chicken and Pickle.
By
right?
Epic and all of that.
In the Epic Center. So those of you that like pickleball.
It is perfect for what a great venue. Will be one of the first ones in there. And we like to support our local cities. And so I think you guys are going to love it. So we are so excited.
Yep. So we're working on the information. We're going to get something out to you this week. So you can already start making plans. We'll have a full day of training like we did last year. And then the awards banquet will be that evening. It's in the hotel, so you can stay over at the hotel if you want. We got some discounted rates available for you. Some amazing food. It is going to be fun.
It's going to be fun, and we love to celebrate one another. So I really hope you guys take this serious. I mean, we would love to have everybody there, but they can also bring their spouse or someone else to help celebrate to the banquet. It's so much fun, you guys. We had such a great time last year, and the whole way that we do at the summit for the day, including vendors to come in and you guys to network with them as well. It's just a great day of learning. So we really hope that once we announce it, you guys are going to put it on your calendar and show up. It's going to be a phenomenal event.
I think we're going to do a panel. I think we're going to do an open discussion panel for business owners. So it's going to be fun stuff. It'll be fun. So more information to come, but get ready. Here it comes, the summit. Woo! Yeah, it's amazing stuff. So more details to come, but definitely we want to see you there. And if you're working with an agent here with a TD Realty, make sure that you let them know. Come together as a group, come together as a couple. And if you know anybody outside of TD Realty, we will even have the day session open for them for training. So, all right, y'all. Have a great week.
Have a blessed and amazing week, y'all. Go back into Chime. Start planning for 2024. Get your vision boards ready, you guys, because it's going to be a phenomenal year coming up.
And
let's close this one out strong.
Get on our calendars. Get on my calendar. All right, y'all. Be blessed. Have a good one.